Well, good afternoon, everybody. Here we are, December the 12th, 2023, tile 400. Now, I think we've been looking forward to this for a while. So, of course, little bit of pressure, I think, when trying to think, what is it we're going to do and how are we going to beat the anniversary tile and the Jubilee tiles and everything else you can possibly imagine. So I've come up with one that I think hopefully you'll like. And I think it's got a nice message to it, which we can have a bit of talk about a little bit later on. But I've actually put two tiles together. Now, if you've got one of my tag tiles, you could use that because, of course, it's a little bit longer. But I just thought, do you know what? Let's go with it and put two together. So that's what I've done. A little bit of tape. There you go, a little bit of washi tape, putting it together there. And I've inked it. I've used the colour clouds, a couple of pinks and an orange. I've spritzed it with a little bit of water and then let it dry all on its own, which is why it's got a little bit of a curve to it, but it doesn't matter, that'll sort itself out as we get to drawing on it. Oh, Kath, we're all amazing. That's the thing. We've all stuck together through thick and thin, haven't we? How wonderful. So, okay, first things first then, I'm going to come in with a pencil. And I'm going to put a curve on here. I know it's frightening some of you, but it's with pencil, we're okay. And usually, I would draw my curves that way. So I thought today, just for today, I'm going to draw it the other way around, okay? So I thought that would be quite nice. So where we want to sort of have a bit of a curl here. And it's going to go round, not too much to the edge. Or shall we do the edge first? Yeah. I want it to be, let's have a look. Sort of start with a curve. Oh, thank you, Kathy. Do you know, I see us all, we're all a big team, aren't we? None of us could do it without the other. You know, we've done wonders. We really have, haven't we? Okay, so I've penciled it in. Now I can come back in and think, do you know what? I'd like that to be a little bit more curved. And you're not going to really see the whole curve when it's done. This is just a guide, okay? So let's get that in so we're happy with it. All right. Oh, Wendy, already eating your cake. Leslie's going to bring me some in when she does me a cup of tea in a bit. So I don't want to be munching cake at the same time as drawing this. Okay, so I'm just making that a little bit more of a curve there. So we've got that going on. All right. Okay. Oh, thank you, Angie. I know it's excited. So I'm going to bring it in a little bit here and around. And I want to sort of have a little bit of a swirl going on there. Okay. And remember this, you're not going to see this afterwards. It's just a guide. Okay. So see how I'm being really picky there. I'm putting a little bit of a curve on. But I'm rubbing little bits away as I go. Okay. So there we go. Curl. All the way around. I know, Maureen, I know. Oh, amazing. So, okay, I'm going to come back in now and I want to have quite a wide shape here and it's going to get a little bit narrower as it works its way up. So here we go. And see, a little bit narrower, a little bit narrower. I'm not going to go completely too thin because, there you go, see? Around we go. And then it's going to come to a point at the end. There you go. All right. So, okay, let's just have a little bit of a zoom in on that so you can see. So there's my top tile. Now, if you wanted to just do one tile, just do that bit, that's absolutely fine. But you see, I've got my curl here and then it's going to come round and I've got this sort of wider version here. I might even take it down there a bit. Okay, let's just get rid of that line so I know what I'm working to. Okay, so far so good. So if I start here, I want to put a little curved line in, and again I'm doing it in pencil. Oh, I know, Glenys, I was only going to do 12. I'm going to put these little lines in. Okay, all the way along. Now I've not got them, they're not real close, but then they're not too wide, if you know what I mean. It's sort of finding a balance. They're about 1/2 centimetre, I would say, ish, around there. I know, I was only going to do 12 tiles. And look at us now. That first one, I was so nervous. and so worried and thought nobody's going to watch and I'm going to do whatever I can, but you know, who knows what's going to happen. And now look where we are. Goodness me. And do you know what? It's not just a celebration for me, it's a celebration for all of you as well. Because we've been through thick and thin. We've continued with the tiles, even though lives get busier and things have moved on. We've still done it. It is a lovely journey, Gladys, it really is. I'm so proud to be part of it, I really am. Okay, so we've got that. All right. So, let's come on in with a pen then. So, my 03 as usual. I think when I first did the first tile, I didn't even have my own pens. So, we have come on a lot. Okay, so I'm on the inside of this shape. And I'm going to put a bubble on that one there. Like that. Okay. And then I'm going to continue drawing these bubbles, working my way down, all the way, following it along. Now, as we start to get a little bit smaller in terms of our space and our shapes, then you can make these a little bit smaller. Okay, we don't quite want them touching. We want a little bit of space around them, so just bear that in mind. I think for tile 400 it had got to have bubbles in it, it's got to have. Hello Louise. Oh, it's lovely that you're all still here, it's great. See, if it wasn't for you I wouldn't be doing it, I'd just be doing it all by myself. Okay, you see it's gone a little bit small, you notice, look, a little bit different. Oh, hi Jill. That's fine. Catch up later. It's not going to go anywhere. Oh no, Chris. How could you plan that you were going to be out? Now, you're not going to be the first to put one up because you used to be. Oh. I want to see as many of these actually today. As many of these on the page as possible. And post them all, it look fabulous. Okay. So see, getting a bit smaller and a bit smaller all the way around until I get to the bottom, and I'm going to put one on the edge. You see, all the way around. Okay. So if I start here, I'm going to put myself a really tiny little leaf shape there. Let's have a look. And then a little leaf. And another. And again, I'm following those lines. So I'm going to continue with these shapes. Keep them real small. Then of course, as we start to get a little bit bigger, we've got more space, we can draw these a little bit bigger. But for now, we're keeping them real small. Okay, real small. We don't want to fill all that space up just yet. Okay. Now see, I can go a little bit bigger. I've got a little bit more space there. A little bit more. Work my way round. You see how that sort of works? Going in. Drawing these leaves. It's nice actually to have that little bit of ink in the background as well. I've not actually spritzed and left a tile to dry for ages. We did a lot of those at one time. But things change and we move on, don't we? And try different techniques. It's just one of the things that we've been doing. Okay. Oh, you're welcome, Ruth. Thank you for staying with us. It's been really nice. It's lovely to see, isn't it? And there's quite a few of you, I'm sure, have got, or will have 400 tiles just like me. in a folder somewhere, or maybe you've used them as cards. Okay, all right, let's have a little look. Okay, there we go, got that kind of a shape. So next little bit, and I'm going to go back to the, let's have a look. Yeah, I'm going to start here. I'm going to draw a bubble, and then along that sort of shape I'm going to draw more. They're going to get smaller and smaller and smaller. Okay, let's go in. And then the next one, smaller and smaller. Now I'm not going to worry too much about how many I've got in there, or if there's the same amount on each one. It doesn't matter, as long as we follow that curved line and each one gets smaller and smaller as we work our way down. Each one smaller and smaller. Each one smaller and smaller. Oh, Angie, I think so, yeah. Sit down, have a cup of tea and a piece of cake instead. So it's not very nice out there, is it? Just chill out for a bit. It's just nice to take some time out, isn't it? Oh, hello, Charlotte. We were doing bubbles today, but in a different way, kind of. We have got a bit of structure, so I'm not leaving you alone with it and not being able to do anything. Oh, you can't, I know, Louise, you can't. As long as it's a nice cake, isn't it? It's something that you have to have a cup of tea with it, though. I know some of you are coffee lovers. Well, I know. I think we've had cake for quite a lot, haven't we, to be honest? I think it's any excuse. And we have a bit of cake. Is there any sort of tile, anybody's birthday that we know of? Or yeah. And actually, I share a birthday with at least 2 other tanglers that I know of. So it's nice, isn't it, that we've got that as well. We've got a lot of things in common. And this one. So you see, I'm not getting as many in now, but I'm still following that process and getting in those little dots and following the curves as I work my way around. Oh, Wendy, yeah, it's a really good idea actually, having them all lying around. And I've got them in various guises. I think I've got all of them except book 3 in a folder, because book 3 I actually turned them all into cards, so they're in a different sketchbook. And then of course, as I've written the books, because we've got books for 186 of the tiles I recall, then I've redrawn them, so I'll find those in my sketchbooks. I redraw and photograph. And then I think I've got, sometimes I do actually make sketches and things, so I do tend to keep most of those as well, whether they be on tiles or in notebooks and things. They all sort of work. Okay, let's have a little look there. All right, look at this. Okay. So far, so good. So I want to have a look at the gaps in between now. There's a couple of things here, because I didn't give you an exact measurement, and you might have a wider gap, you might have a really small gap. Mine's size enough that I can come in and add another row of bubbles. Now, if you find you can't, that's okay. You could just put lines in. You could do dot dash lines, couldn't you? And again, I'm starting, they're not too big. And as they follow around the curve, they get smaller, just like the others. And the same again. See, it's not going to be too big here. Follow the curve, even if you've got to draw those curves again. That's fine. And along we go. Okay, little dots. So, you know, fill your space accordingly, just to see where you can get them in. It is a lot of bubbles, Maureen. Not as many as Craft Ember, I don't think. And some of them we can actually define as dots because they're small enough, I think. So, all right, see, they're your dots, aren't they? And again, I'm following the curve all the way. And the next one. Following the curve. Okay. Now you might have missed a row. I'll go back and do it in a minute. You might find it easier to turn it round and do it this way. Depends what you're more comfortable with. Okay. I know, Lorraine. I've not counted, so I don't think there's 400 bubbles. But it doesn't matter. As many as you need. But I think it had got to have some in, hadn't it? All right. See, this one's going to be quite small, and of course, as I get my way around, yeah, maybe there's more. I don't know. I've not counted. That's tricky, isn't it, to do? Okay. Sort of wandering around there. And in we go. You see, it's creating this little bit of a curve around the shape, isn't it, before we start. Of course, we're going to remove those pencil lines once we've done this, so we can see how it looks if we've got enough in. Oh, sure, I think so, yeah. I'm not even driving home, but to be honest, I've got a little bit too much to do to get the Prosecco out just yet. Maybe later. It's quite a thing. And of course, as much as we've enjoyed these and we've had laughs and we use them for crafting, we've got to remember that there is a little bit of a mindful thing going on. So it's always been a good thing to sit down and chill out with, hasn't it? So, we've got to sort of give it that, and it helped a lot of us during lockdown. It's almost now you think lockdown, that was such a word, and it was such a time, wasn't it? But, you know, it's just hopefully something good that came out of it. And we were able to carry it on, which is brilliant. So you see how I'm coming almost to dots. So I am on Hobby Maker on Christmas Day. And I'll also be on Sewing Street. I thought, whilst I'm there. That's good. You could actually do this if you wanted to, you know, with ball tools and paint. You could do a smaller version of it if you wanted. You don't have to do a full curve. And as you work your way around. So I'm having Boxing Day off and a couple of days after that as well. So,
tea and cake.
Oh, thank you, Leslie.
Happy anniversary, everyone.
Oh, look at this.
Look.
Oh, hang on. There you are, look, chocolate.
Oh.
Definitely got cake. So if I suddenly go very quiet, you know, we can have cake. There's cake on the table.
Yeah, I will. I'll have one in a minute.
There you go. All right, let's have a look at this. All right, look at that. Okay, I'm going to rub out the pencil lines now. So, of course, you just want to make sure that your pencil, or your pen rather, is dry, and you don't want it to too much. Okay. All right. And then I thought what would be quite nice as well is putting some words in here. And we've always thought, certainly with this kind of thing, we've always helped each other. We've always been there for each other. And it's all about that positive mindset. So I'm going to write above the top, which is why I left a bit of a gap here. You could put it inside as well. Oh, no, do I want to put it inside? I might put it inside actually. Okay, here we go. You could put anything inside, and if you want to, you could put a little line just to help you keep your writing. You see, within a certain space there. Now, I had a conversation with somebody actually quite recently about positivity and, you know, helping people and things. And let's put this in. Again, you don't have to. You could put a row of dots in, or you could use a stamp. So here we go. And I'm not going to try and make it completely neat and fancy writing. It's just going to be my writing, really. So here we go. The greatest. All right. The greatest good. I'm hoping it'll fit now. Is what we do for one another. Now, I didn't write that. I can't remember who it was from, but there is actually, it is somebody else wrote that, not me. The greatest good we do, the greatest good is what we do for one another. And I think, do you know what? And I'm sure you already do this. If, I don't know, however, even if 100 people watch this video today and actually at some point over the next few days go out and you do one little act of kindness for somebody, it might be just opening the door, might just be saying hello to somebody that looks a little bit lost, or it might even be, you know, you put 50p in somebody's hat that's singing outside in the cold. If 100 people did that for 100 people, what a nice place it would be. And, you know, just making somebody else smile. Even, I don't know, a tin of food in a food bank, or, you know, you get those in the supermarket where it, even for our lovely pets, you know, just you buy an extra pack of treats. Just something. What a wonderful world if that's the kind of things we did for each other. So that's what I thought would be really nice to put in there. So yeah, I've managed to got that. Yeah, Sheila, see, something really, really nice. It just, however small, even just, you know, somebody got a cough, offering them a sweet if you've got one in your pocket, you know, something like that. Don't offer them the sweet if you've already sucked on it though. That wouldn't be good. But yeah. Okay. So next little bit then. I'm going to put a few little flourishes out here. And this is something that we do quite a bit. Let's just zoom out a little bit. There you go. Oh, Marie, I think we all are. I think now and again it's just nice to do something for somebody, isn't it? You know, I think we've all been down on our luck and we've all sort of like had a bit of a bad day ourselves. And, you know, if somebody had offered a kind word or said something nice, wouldn't it have made it better? So I think that's what we should. Okay, some little bits there just to help it out. And then I'm going to come round and see from my dots. I'll zoom in a little bit so you can see what I've done there. Give me 1 second. There we go. So you see there, little dots and then a little curve and a bobble. So again, little dots. So it's sort of continuing that little design there, and around we go. A little bobble. Okay. And little dots into there. Little dots into there. Okay. So definitely follow it on here. Now, of course, this would look really nice in little bits of, I don't know, silver maybe as well, wouldn't it? That's nice. I think what I'm going to do, see these ones here? I'm going to come in with my 05 pen. Because they're quite large, I'm going to leave a little bit of a highlight in and fill the rest in. Like that. And I'm going to work my way down doing all this. And of course, if you've got any you think, oh, I could do with just neatening that up a bit, you can do this at this point, can't you? We're all going to have highlights in different places, and that's okay. And of course, if you find that you've missed one, you've filled it in completely, you can just come back in with a white pen and put that in. Oh, Wendy, I'm completely in agreement with you there. Absolutely. Positivity all the time. I know sometimes that can be quite difficult, and I understand that. Our coloured gel pen would look lovely, wouldn't it, Kathy? I should do it. I have got some here. I might bring one in a minute and do one on me, on these dots. I think I want a nice sort of defined curve going on here. And of course you could do this in coloured pencil, you don't have to use a pen. Okay. And bringing it in. See, they're getting a little bit smaller now, so it gets a little tricky. So I think at this point I'm going to switch back to my 03. And that's it, see, because it's quite small. Those in. Got a bit of pencil there still. Don't need that anymore. There we go with that. Okay, follow it round. So, you know, even if you do one tile and you get the swirl in, you could put your own sentiment in and write it a bit small if you want to. And in we go. You see how that kind of just sort of follows on, and before you know it, you're almost at the end. Just gives it a little bit more definition there, doesn't it? I'm just trying to keep a little highlight in there if I can, but they are getting quite small now, so almost. And there, little bits, and then that one just right on the end. There we go there. Okay, you see? Alright. So I want to add a few more of these in. So if I do it this way, you can see where I'm heading. I'm not going to try and do one on every one, but it'd be nice to do a few sort of coming around. So you see I've started with dots and then come on in and put my little loop. And here just a few little dots. And a little one there. So, you know, I'm using the space up as what I've got, if I can. So, you know, keep it small there. But when I get to here, I'm going to leave a bit of a gap. And into there. And there, see? So I've actually come out a little bit further there. And you can use the space up, but putting these dots in makes the difference. And I'm not counting particularly how many sort of spaces I'm leaving. I'm putting them in as to where I think it works nicely. All right. Okay, and then maybe getting a bit small around here. We'll have a look at it in a minute. I'm going to do one there as well. And then a little one there. And there. Okay, maybe just a tiny one there. Alright, let's have a little look at that. Okay. Alright, lovely. So a few things we can do. Of course, we do like our little shapes and flowers. So if I come in here, I'm going to come straight in with like a little loop. And then a little loop either side. You see, notice though it's not touching. Let me just zoom in a little bit there. It's not touching at all. I'm going to put a little dot on. Little dots going on the inside. So if we sort of work on trying to get those in on each one of these. I mean, it might not be possible. Little dot, look. Dots down. here. Little dot. There we go. So let's have a look. See this one, a little bit small, so I think I might just put one in. You see, just sort of keep it little. Here we can go probably a little bit for 3. Little dots. There, I'm just going to get 1 in because then I've got another one here. 3 in. Little dots. 3 in there. Little dots. Definitely in these larger ones. Little dots. Let's do this one. So again, look at the space that you've got and fit in whatever you can around your work. So I'm just going to put 1 in there. You know, if you've got really wide spaces, go for it. If you've only got little ones, just put 1 in. Just about having a little look at what you've got there and going with it. All right. Oh, let's have a little look at that. Okay. So I think let's come in with a little bit of pencil first. Oh, hi Jane, thank you. It's all of us. It's yeah, we've all done it. So I'm really pleased that we're still here. So pencil, remember we got a bit of a line down here. So I'm going to come in and put that line back in underneath those bubbles there. Okay, underneath those bubbles. I know, don't be shy with it. Just get some on, it's fine. And work it round and round. You see? And then I'm also going to be a little bit round here as well. So it's either side of those bubbles that we've filled in with some ink. You see? Okay. All right. Let's get a bit of tortillon action going there then. Let's have a little look at what we've got. So, on the outside, I'm going to swirl on both, but see how far it goes. I don't want it to move massively, but let's give it a little bit of a go. Oh, Bernadette, you're welcome. I'm so glad we did. What a lovely community we've built. What a lovely group of people. Like-minded and, you know, just want to actually enjoy drawing. You know, we all help each other. We come to each other's support when we need it. It's just lovely. I think, honestly, when I did that first one, or even the first 12, I never imagined that we'd have such a wonderful group going now. It's just amazing. And, you know, so the things that's happened, the journey we've all been on, it's just wonderful. Okay, I'm just going to go back down, like I'm just easing off that line. See? And then on this side, I'm not going to have it going as far. So I'm going to sort of, rather than swirling, I'm going back and forth. Back and forth. Oh, Jane, it is. The group is amazing. And I've always said, always agree, we're a team. And we'll all do this together, and that's the main thing. Angie, I think we talked about this at the weekend. I think I started with just a few people, maybe sort of 8, 12, and then very quickly within that first few tiles, it went up to about 50 people. So I can go a bit further up there. And then grew from there. I think it's eased off a little bit since lockdown, which you'd expect because people are working. But we had quite a few, I think. So the very, very early ones, when it was found, there was 1,000 people watching. And now we build it up. I say people have gone back to work and things, but we still do it. All right, I'm going to bring a bit of pencil in, and I'm going to bring. What have I got? Mid-rose. Let's have a little bit of mid-rose at the bottom there. I'm going to do this on all of them. And just down that bottom edge. It's a really nice little colour, this. You know, we're getting to find that lots of people are discovering us now every day, and we're still getting messages. That's great. Really try and, you know, make it as fun for everybody as we can, you know, and keep it going, and lots of different things happening. Okay, being that I've got orange in there, I'm going to bring a bit of orange in as well. Just over the top there. And it's kind of small, so I'm not going to try and put too much in. I'm going to go just with the pink and the orange. Just the pink and the orange. Of course, these pencils didn't exist, did they, when I did the first one? Or the first few, actually. It's only been recent that this year, that these came about. I'm hoping for something different in terms of colour on Christmas Day, but we've got to wait and see to see if certain things and bits and pieces arrive. And yes, Maureen, we're taking over the world. Tile by tile. There you are. Okay. So let's have a look. I'm going to bring in my little gel pens. So what colour to go with? I've got a bit of a coppery colour in there. So let's bring that in. I'm going to go with this one. I'm going to add a bit of gel pen. Now these, I use them so much, so they're almost on their last little legs now, these ones I've been using for a while. Still got a bit of ink in there, so I'm getting there. So just having that little hint of colour in there. Is it getting smaller? And working it out. So if you're up for doing this today, that would be great. I would love to see as many of these on the page as possible. And of course, that kind little word, that something for somebody, however it may be, you know, that would be wonderful. Let's think positive completely, and we can do, especially this time of year. I think at this time of year, everybody's a little bit nicer. If we could continue that all the way through the year, wouldn't it be great? Not that we'd want Christmas dinner every day. That would be a bit too much, I think. Okay. And there we go. So I could have gone completely tangly and filled everything in. But honestly, I think that says it, doesn't it? That is just enough. Gives us this wonderful swirl and just something about it that makes it a little bit different. So, okay, signature or little sign off, here we come. There we go, number 400, all done. And the only thing to do now is to go and finish my cup of tea and have my piece of cake. So there we go, all done and sorted. If you want to, try it with one tile, do it a tag tile, whatever you want to do with it, that's fine. But please post, let's have a look at it. And we'll be back here for Friday for tile 401. So have a lovely day, everybody. Take care, stay warm, and I'll catch you all soon. Okay, bye.